to another episode of Exploring the Arts. My name is Kalinmonet, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is your one-stop shop for all the arts, from starting out from the very beginning with your first piece of artwork to going into having exhibitions and shows or even hosting your own. So today we're going to be talking about branding, and if you haven't checked out the last video, definitely check that out because that is going to have a little bit of a play into what we're talking about today. So in the last video we talked about having your own website versus joining e-commerce such as Etsy, Society6, and the list goes on from there. And the thing about that is that whether you're going with your own website or either you're going with another kind of e-commerce, you're always going to have to understand what your brand is as an artist or either a creative. And the thing about that is, whether you are creating just because you create and you love art and you genuinely just love to create like myself, you also have to keep in mind that people are going to be looking at you and wondering, okay, well, what exactly does she do or he does? And that's where branding comes into play. So I know for me personally, I make a ton of different types of artwork, so the stuff that you actually see on my Instagram account or either the things that you see on my other social media platforms it's not all the stuff that I've made. So I've got other artwork that's kind of like hidden in the background behind the scenes, and sometimes I will take those pieces out for an exhibition because they could create a cohesive look. But as far as with my brand online, I have a look that I try to stick to. I pick out art pieces that kind of fit with it, and I also create merchandise based off of those art pieces of artwork that I say fit with in the brand and the message that I'm trying to send out to people. And that brings me to my first point, which is why it's important to have a brand as an artist or either as a creative, because it's going to solidify what people come to you for. So for example, let's say you're an artist that does a lot of commission works, then you would essentially list that on your website or either list it on your social media platforms to say, hey, this is what I do, these are the types of works that I do. And you get even more specific than that as far as by saying, oh, I only do portraits, or I only do landscape artwork, or I only do abstract work that is for commission projects. So you setting that up also allows for people to know, okay, this is the person that I need to go to when I need X, Y, and Z. Or either they will keep you in mind when they have that person that comes to them and says, do you know anybody that knows how to do this or that? Then they'll think of you. And that's because you've solidified what your brand is, what you're known for doing, and also what your style is. If you haven't had a chance to, I have a video that's way back from when I first started creating videos about figuring out what your style is as an artist. So you can definitely check that out to give you some background and resources for that as well. And as I've said, I personally create a whole bunch of different types of artwork. So don't think that once you pick your brand, you have to just stick with it and that's it. Like, you can't go beyond that. You have the option to go ahead and do other types of artwork as well. And then let's say over a period of time you say, you know what, this brand that I've created is not exactly what I want to represent myself as anymore, or the products that I make anymore. So you already have artwork that you can pick from that you haven't shown or displayed that you can put towards your new message of branding. Now that is another video and another time about transitioning brands, because that is actually something that I have personally done recently, and it's very subtle. I'm sure me explaining this to you, you're probably like, oh, I see it, if you follow me on social media or whatnot. But if you did not catch on, I can definitely do a video about that and explain about transitioning with your brand. So back to the main topic. When it comes to branding wise, you want to kind of stick with the items that you know for a fact will solidify the message that you're trying to send to people. Now here are the big what's to what you need when you are branding. first is for you to kind of take that moment, sit down and understand exactly what it is that you want people to gain from whatever you are selling as a crafter or for whatever you are creating as an artist. And the importance of this is so that you can have a direction for the rest of the stuff that you're going to be putting together for, whether it be a website or a exhibition or a show that you're doing, for anything at all. Like, branding is going to help you out in a long run for all of this stuff and to figure out what works for you. Let's say that you are an artist that really does a lot of floral paintings in watercolor, and that is what you do, but your brand is a little bit different from that. You create watercolor flowers that are connected to the message of each flower individually. So we know how roses are the language of love. So let's say you are an artist who does watercolor flowers and you have this painting of roses and you have a message behind that painting, which is something about love. So that right there is like a collective example of what you would get from branding yourself, because then people would know that, hey, I like this I like this flower. I wonder why I like this flower. And you as an artist can create a piece of artwork based off of the flower that this person likes, and you can explain to them either through written to go along with the artwork, or either through visual with the artwork itself as to what the message is behind that flower and why that person is attracted to it. You see where I'm getting here with this? So that's something that kind of like trickles down into what you create and things like that. And next thing would be how it affects the colors that you pick for your brand. Obviously pick colors that you like, and the thing about that is too, you kind of got to think about the way color theory works with all of this as well, because that plays a factor in it. So let's say you want to go with red. Red is a color of passion and love, and can also be a color of anger or things of that sort. So it's like, does that color go with your brand, or is there another color that you like that might suit it better? Or either, if that red color is a color that you definitely want in there, then are there other colors that you could bring in with it that complement that red, so that it comes off either in a softer way, if that's the kind of brand you're going for, or either in a more of like a harsh way, if that's going to be your brand. And with those colors, you're going to be able to create so much stuff from it. You're going to be able to create your logos, you're going to be able to create your website, you're going to be able to create graphics for your Instagram or Facebook posts or LinkedIn post or wherever the case may be. And having those colors is really going to help you out with just in general, like what kind of visuals you're going to be providing with people, instead of having to go off the top of your head every single time you post something with a really graphic aspect to it. You already have a set of colors set up that you can pick from and play around with. So with those colors, when you do get to the point where you're ready to design your logo, make sure you pick stuff that actually speaks about what message you're trying to give people. So for example, I'm going to use this imaginary watercolor floral artist as an example for this. So maybe on their business card, they would put a bouquet of flowers that they might have painted, or either they might put some flower options with maybe a paintbrush or something of that sort, just to kind of give that idea that they create flowers and that's their thing, and also that they paint and watercolor is their medium. So for me, I'll use myself as an example too, is that I have a moon on my business card, because moons are a huge factor in my artwork. It's all about nature and the galaxy, night sky, and things like that. So a lot of my artwork is setting in the night, so that's why I chose the moon. And then underneath the moon, I have my paint splatter, because I paint everything that you see on my website, all the products and things like that. All of that originated from a painting first, and then led to what it is now. And then I chose my name, Kalinmonet, because my first name is Kaylin and my middle name is Monet. And It also has a special meaning to me as well because it was given to me by my mom. When I was younger, I used to sew a lot, and my mom always said, hey, if you ever open up a business, you should definitely call it Kalinmonet. And she's always been really good with like picking out names and stuff like that for businesses. So that's not something that really stuck with me through all these years. And mind you, that was when I was like in middle school, high school. So since then till now, that name has stuck with me, and I decided to use that as a name for my business and my brand and for me. That was a crash course, I feel like, of everything about branding. But if you all wanted to learn a lot more about it, trust me, I have so much more to give about it. Please be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what it is that you're interested in, and I can provide so much more details on it when it comes to branding. And then in our next video, we're going to be talking about making websites. So definitely make sure you have your notes ready from this video to help out with the next one to get started with that. And please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you all next time. Bye.